we are lost. Sounds we are lost. Hey, Gage. What up, fella? How goes it? How goes it? Thanks for hitting that like button, fam. Thanks for showing up. Good looking. Do some quick maintenance stuff here. Yo, John P, what's good? What's good? Oh, am I running out? Yeah, I'm running out. Direction. Have run out. Just juicing up my lighter. This thing is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Trying to heat treat some blades and making a new sheath for that knife I posted. Oh, that's dope. Nice, nice, nice. Man, I'm glad to see you jumping in both feet. That's dope. That is dope. That is dope. Like, people don't realize sometimes that this is a community that grows together. Like, I didn't know how to do any of this. And learning it all from YouTubers. Oh, wasn't enough. Pick up some more today. That's literally the first time this light is ever not lit, but I barely had any fluid. The next time. John P says, trying to heat treat some blades and making a new sheath for that knife. That's going to be dope. Yeah, I don't think I'm much of a live stream or a video or a short creator. I just like doing things, hanging out, and posting my recent projects. Facts. Facts. Tell you something. Before I could even get the guts to jump on YouTube and be visible to people, I did TikTok because nobody knew me. And then I did Facebook and Instagram, little reels, but only to try to get used to being visible on camera. I'm sort of not a center of attention type of person. So for me, it gets a little bit weird. So it took me a while just to get comfortable listening to my own voice. I know some people also have that thing. But I also don't quite like looking at myself either. So staring at myself and talking and hearing it certainly took some getting used to. Plywood, truer words were never said, brother. 100% it's coffee time. So Gage, I get it. Like, the reason that I'm doing this because I do contracting for a living. And from the very beginning, I knew I had to protect my body from some of it. I work out, I stay in, decent shape. I don't do weights and heavy lifting anymore. But sometimes it takes a mallet to beat a mallet. But because I started out roofing early on, a guy said, hey man, don't try to do this your whole life. It'll break your body. And it's the most physical job besides maybe stonework. They're about what and what. Of all the construction that I've done, those two are the ones. And so I did roofing as long as I could comfortably do it, which was, but added stuff to it. And all the other trades physically are easier. And water infiltration is really difficult. So nothing had quite as much on the line except for plumbing. But my point is, this is like sort of a retirement plan for me. Like if I get good enough at this and I get enough attention with this, what I will do is full-time this, full-time renovate and film and set up for the content rather than just get the job done. Because right now, I just go get the job done and I set a camera in a corner sometimes. But when I can take the time to narrate and go through and show details and show stuff, I'll do that. But until then, I'll do what I can as visibly as possible in between. They say in between time, you work your thing and I work mine. So what I'm doing right here is, oh, I just missed that. I just made it. See a little hole? You don't see it. Got a little hole in my bench that's letting me get this through, which is nice. Let me put my leather down. I was thinking about making a wooden and leather sheath. Y'all let me know if y'all like to see that, because here's what I was thinking. Even on this one, I was contemplating this. You wrap and stretch that in this leather, because this stuff contours really good. And that's a nice texture. If I can figure out how to integrate that into a wooden sheath, I'm definitely going to do it. I'm definitely going to do it. Anyway, you see how easily I get distracted. Let me make sure I'm not just showing you my junk. Okay, that works. You know what I'm doing here is just getting rid of the CA glue in between these stitches so it doesn't tell on me. I might have to do that. Additional fold. Don't want to rub the leather. Make it all jinky. This is the 80, so we don't have to do a whole lot with it. It's going to do a lot of the work, and then we're just going to go up in grit just to sand down the fallout from it. Each time I hope we'll blend it a little bit better. Hey Ross, how you doing? Stock and drywall is demanding also. Oh yeah, for sure, plywood. Hanging drywall is demanding. Um, I was a drywall guy for a number of years as well. Um, the first thing that I did after roofing um, was framing. Well, that kind of got integrated. But after that, it was drywall. And, I'm a small guy. And drywall guys, when they're tall with long arms, they get more done. Um, it's a distinct advantage with drywall because, of course, you have to go up the ceilings. You have to get to the top of an 8 foot wall. And a guy who's tall enough to touch the corner of an 8 foot wall standing flat footed on his own feet versus stilts or standing on a bench or something, that guy will get a lot more work done because he'll have an easier way of it. So what I had to do was just walk in. I saw some guys loading drywall into a house, and I just grabbed a sheet and walked in behind them. And they were like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Hey man, I just want to work." And this is 30 years ago. But I said, "No, I'm small, but if you put me with your best guy, uh, and he tells you at the end of the day to fire me, you don't have to pay me anything. But I will work for $5 an hour." This is 1995, of course. I said, "I'll work for $5 an hour if uh, if you'll let me. And at the end of the week, if I'm worth more, we can talk about it. But if not, give me that $5 an hour. I'll go on about my way." And then he hired me. I learned drywall from best guy I had available to me. And then I moved on after I learned it. But man, drywall is a lot of shoulder work. A lot of shoulder work. Drywall, plastering. Tile work can be that way as well. Certain type of tile work. It's a lot slower, so they're not just pounding it out. Nailing down hardwood floors will destroy your back. I don't see how anybody does that for more than 10 years. Horrible on your back. I can't believe they haven't invented better stuff yet for hardwood floors that don't require you standing upright and swinging a 4 pound mallet for every single nail that there is in that floor. Thousands. Just gonna go through the grits like we normally do with anything else. Now on the 120. Trying to pull those scratches. I apologize again for my ugly hands, but if you'd like to contribute to my manicure, there's a super chat button down there. Go directional if we can, every way we can. This stuff is so hard to sand. Just its nature. Difícil. See if we can bring this one back with this gummy. Maybe not. Maybe. Good enough. Thing you got to be careful of is you get comfortable working around delicate stuff, you get a little bit lax. The longer you're doing it, and you end up getting sloppy if you're not careful and damaging stuff. Trying to not do that. But this is my final sand grit, so whatever this leaves behind is behind. Boiled linseed oil will help forgive some scratches. Because we're not putting a super high gloss finish on this. And then some of this is just wood texture in between or figuring. I'm trying to figure out how to get into some sponsors, man. Getting my channel to the visibility that I could potentially start getting that. I gotta figure out how. Maybe I need a manager. YouTubers have managers. We have PR people. Or do we just have to be on our own the whole time? Hmm. Open that up. We open these jaws and let this thing hold it like it's supposed to. You see what I'm trying to get out, these little lines here? I'm gonna go back up to the 80. Like I said, maple is tough. It's beautiful in particular on cabinets and furniture. I love maple furniture. Whew. It is a tough surface. That's what makes it good for cabinets, is that it's durable. It'll eat up some blades and bits, though. Okay. Maybe we got rid of it. Back to the 120. Start giving ourselves our smoothness back. You know what I'm saying? It's been a while since I had the smoothness engaged. It's this weirdo talking to himself. What a weirdo. Hey, y'all, smack that like button. Thanks, Soldier. Soldier Farms in the building, everybody. Hello, peoples. How you doing? Routes was good. Prove yourself and things will fall in place. You know, they'll fall, hopefully, in place. Let's see. Okay. It's cleaning up. I don't know if the camera's picking up the scratches that I'm getting out. But up close, the sheath has some blade marks still in it. And it's weird because I made this knife. I remixed it last night, but I made this knife probably 3-4 months ago. And I've done so many different things since with the knives and such that I became pretty dissatisfied with it, to be honest. Because I've done better certain things, but this knife was an experiment on the design itself more than anything. If I could make the idea happen. And that did happen. So in that regard, it was a success. But since then, my standards have definitely changed a bit about what feels like a good knife, because I know the stages and the steps and the things that I didn't do, because I've learned things since. But if I'm not going to throw away an old saw blade, I'm certainly not going to throw away a knife that I spent all this time making. I'm going to just make it better as best I can to my current ability. Go back to the 80 every time. We're going to knock it back down to its original and clean it back up. And I don't know if y'all know this. 7 days from now is West Day. 7 days from today, I will 100% be giving away stuff because it's my birthday. And I do stuff for other people on my birthday. I kind of wish I had a card scraper. I should make one. Let's see the chat. I love you talking to yourself in voices and movie quotes. It's magical. Yeah, I don't know. I'll call it magical. Okay. But yeah, this is my birthday is March 4th. March the 4th, next week. That feels good. That looks good. Uh-oh. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna have to silence you for a second. I'm back. Hey, Mitchell, how you doing? Sorry, you guys, I was on the fizzone. Yo, that's my work phone ringtone. Made my heart skip a beat. Ain't that crazy how that happens? We just associate those sounds. I was talking to my kids the other day about ringtones. Like some of them are too young to really remember ringtones. And I was like, yeah, we used to spend money so that we could play our favorite tunes when our phones rang. And it just made us hate our favorite songs. Because my phone rings and I'm like, oh. And yeah, there's a number of songs that made me not like anymore. From right now to this day, I hear it's getting hot in her. I cringe. Ugh. Give myself the cringies. I'm looking for my little micro files. They're in a box. This happens all the time. If you've been here, you already know that. I look at this stuff so often that I can't see it anymore. I'll be touching it and not even realize. There's a word for that. I don't remember what it is. But I guess I'm just going to skip it. I was going to file down a little bit of this stuff on the inside, but I guess it's okay. Because I've got a liner in there that softens this knife going in. Uh-oh. It helps if I go the right way. But it softens the knife going in. Holds it really snug. But just right there over that ridge, you can see a little bit of it inside of there. So I think that turned out okay. Oh man, that stitch. We're gonna go ahead and put some poly on it. I meant some linseed oil on it. Clean it up. I might do a little bit of sanding right there too. Back of this. Mitchell in the building. Mitchell in the building. Mitchell in the. I'm gonna do a nice little sand on this too. This is Purple Heart. I think I can go ahead and pull that free while I do this. I wasn't going to. But now I am. Because you see how that spine is still a little rough? My standard is a little higher than that now. So try to make it better. Ugh. Hate when that happens. The goal, the key, the aim is always trying to get better. This is no different. It's just an older situation. I'm trying to get better. Older is in a couple months. I swear it feels like I did this knife 10 years ago now. And it's not that I've got a whole bunch of expertise. It just kind of goes to show how many elements there are to it, because I still feel like an amateur. You know, I still am an amateur when it comes to knife making. But there are guys like Ron's Homemade or homemade 1970s. That guy really, really puts in the work. Um, really a masterful blacksmith. I make knives. I'm not a blacksmith. What's amazing is I actually won a knife from Ron, and I'm over the moon about it. He's in Canada, so he's going to ship it to me, which is awesome. Hmm. This Purple Heart is some good stuff. And right now, I am sanding the wood sort of as a byproduct of trying to knock this spine down below those scratches that are on it. But until they're gone, they are there. And you can't sand any higher than you grit and get any kind of result on that metal until they are gone. We are so close. We ain't there till we're there. Thank you for your patience while I work on this. Which is weird because you're kind of here to see me work on this. And this is part of the work on this. If you're looking close, you can see what we're getting out of this, and you can see that it's working. And again, this Purple Heart is super hard. Because I have baked it, it's a process of ebonizing it. And it makes it very hard and durable. And consequently, tough to sand. In this particular application, it's the Purple Heart that's the hard part. It's not the metal. It's one of those things. It's hard for me to tell what's good enough. So I kind of aim for perfect, as perfect as I can, because I won't hit perfect. But if I'm aiming for it and I miss, at least I'll land on pretty good, I guess. That's the idea, though. Quack, 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 quack. Go ahead and let that Rihanna soak into your subconscious. And it's not getting to the metal, it's the getting the material on the left and the right of it down enough to get that metal hit effectively. Ooh. Stop it. A lot of people won't understand why I go through this much effort. Yeah, that's the end of that statement. But those people probably don't make stuff. There's a point where you start going, oh, is that good enough? That's good enough. And sometimes you're right. And you're wrong. And you're wrong. That's the problem. Purple dust, purple dust, purple dust, purple dust. Hey, Calvin, been here for 5 months, rocking with your boy. Down with the crew. Mallet Warriors. The Mallet Warriors! Look at that. That is epoxy. That means my knife separated some right there. Left a gap that the epoxy filled in and kind of been disguised. Because the coloration just blends, you know. I'm gonna hit this back. I want this knife cleaned up. Well, this should be called the belly, I guess. The belly. Whoop whoop. YouTube wonky today. Is it? Am I doing weird stuff too? YouTube's been wonky-esque for like a month, it feels like. But Calvin kind of said it best the other day. You just gotta sort of roll through it, man. I gotta be careful here because I got this blade pointing right at my gut, and I've got a tendency to lean forward, put pressure. I don't want to shank myself. That's the last thing I need. I swear every time I make a knife, somebody comes and talks about prison shanks. Why me? Never heard anybody in Ron's chat call his knife a prison shank. But I guess that's that's kind of a testament to the quality of knife he makes versus mine. So that might actually be fair. I might be closer to a prison shank than an actual well built forged knife. I guess it's all perspective, right? It's a weird thing. I'm sure Rob and Calvin will uh, attest to this. As a tradesman or an artist or skilled guy developing skill, it's amazing how proud you can be of something and then learn more and come back and be completely embarrassed by it, by the thing that you were so proud of before, because you've learned more. Like the learning lives in those moments. That's how you kind of can grade yourself and go, oh, because if you're still completely satisfied with your first effort at something, you're probably not getting good at it, not getting better at it. There's a handful of savants out there. Purple knife. It's not paper mache. Well, that's the truth. Your knives are a bit better than a sharpened candy cane your wife smuggled in her lady parts. Well, if I ever go downtown, I'll know how to get stuff in. Babe, the key is candy canes. Gonna burn a little bit. Peppermint's not the great, but gotta protect myself. Keep these YouTube videos going. This is clearly getting better than it was. And then as you see that progress, you're like, oh, this is all I had to do. And then perfection on that one line is still 20 minutes away and you don't know it. You're like, yeah, this is all I had to do. Meanwhile, your arm is falling off. Let's see. How is everyone? Says Rob. We good, man. Thank you. Comparison is a thief of joy, says Mitchell. Facts. Don't let haters and trolls get you down, my dude. Oh, for sure. Hello, random scroll in. What's going on here? Hey, some chick. How you doing? We are reworking a knife that I built a few months back. And now that I've had days and days of YouTube knife making experience, I've decided that this knife is beneath me and it should be redone. And so I am not redoing it. The finishes mostly. I did the blade last night too, and I'm still completely disappointed in it, if I'm being honest. It cut like butter. It slices through paper like nothing. It cuts wood like nothing. But the finish on the sides of that blade just bothered me so much. All right, I'm not gonna take that one. I'm calling back. Lines are going tits up. Lives are going tits up. Oh, I love that. My dad used to make knives and swords when I was a kid. Really? That's amazing. Pilato, how you doing? Um, yeah, I got away from frequent lives for a little while, and it just pushes you back to zero. The algorithm, I think. Um, Hold on. Oh, I can't blow that towards my coffee. I got a little bit left. Let me. My wife hates that. For all intents, in my head while I'm sanding this, the whole time, I got a background voice in my head saying, "This is dangerous. This is dangerous. This can be dangerous. This can be dangerous." So I don't stab myself. My live went. The person talk says my live went completely wrong. It was showing that it was working fine for me and buffering for everybody else. Yeah, they will do that because what's happening is that it is buffering, but you're watching your phone's monitor through the camera, and they're watching a feed through the internet, and that's why it'll look like you're just fine, and then you'll look up and there's like nobody in your room, and people have been shouting at you for 2 or 3 minutes saying, "You're spinning, we can't see you." All right, now we've done a little better there. Still got the sides, but they look dull and scratchy by comparison, right? If you look at that close, you can see those scratches across there. Now, some of that's texture because Purple Heart is very linear. I don't know the word for all the terminology, but it does tend to run those lines. But it's so dense that it doesn't take all the effort in the world to get it dead flat because it's so dense. And so what I'm going to do is sand the sides as well because, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Hey, Calvin, I had a question for you, man. I had a question if he's still in here. Vision John, how you doing? How you doing? Pilato, I hope your daughter makes a full recovery. Me too, Pilato. What's going on? Let me double check here. My daughter has influenza B and strep, pneumonia, and it's really struggling to breathe. They sedated and incubated her, have her on a ventilator. Oh my God. Let's take a quick second. If you are a person who does prayer, I think Pilato's daughter could appreciate that right now. And we wish her the absolute best. Pilato, sure everything will work out. You guys are an unbelievably resilient family. Calvin says, my son doctor was like, don't let him sleep all day. He had no energy. The doctor said pneumonia gets worse if he lies down. Yeah. Sure, situations are a lot more complicated than I could imagine in that scenario. Whew. There's a chapel in the there's always a chapel in the hospital. Wouldn't necessarily fund that if it weren't working, right? Sorry, guys. Sometimes I'll just forget that you don't have the same perspective as me, and I'll just be going on. You'll be looking at my foot, and I'll be just sanding away. And then the thing about the maple is you don't want the purple heart dust to get on the maple because it's so hard to sand out of the maple once it's in there. So if you happen to be working with purple heart dust, which is pretty much just working with purple heart, then word to the wise. Look how hard that stuff is to sand. And this one doesn't have the finish on it. It did have some linseed oil on it. Sometimes that makes it a little tough to get the sanding restarted. And as you cut through, it gets a little better. Whew. Keep cleaning out the sandpaper so you can get back to the grit. Clear off the material. Get back to the grit. Oh, the question I had, Bucky Larson, you know it. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to. That's a very cool MF Doom chain I got. Thank you. Am I in a shop? Yeah. Yeah. I am I'm in my shop. The West Desert Bat Layer. My Bat Layer. Why does Batman get to be? Well, he's the only one that really did actively let you see his shop. You always see Batman with all this equipment and all this stuff, and then you see Alfred, old self, hanging out and handing the stuff off. But I want to know who's building the stuff. I want to meet the guy who's down there, Adam Savaging all the Batman stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be something, some dude masterminding that. I mean, having money definitely gets your stuff, but somebody got to build the stuff. He's got exclusive stuff. And I know, like no, that was Tony Stark, whose dad was a doggone arms dealer. His makes sense. And then it's like he built the stuff because he is, you know, Adam Savage with $1 gajillion. You know what I'm saying? I believe Iron Man was more like Adam Savage, maybe. And Batman had a network behind him. Secret hidden network. I don't know. Either that or maybe he got in a fight with Tony Stark. Maybe cross over sometimes. And then maybe he won the fight. Look at the color difference after the sand. Now this is grain texture now, not scratches. We are going to go back over that with the higher grits because that's what our quality demands. But we're getting better, baby. Getting better. Because we're going to do this today, this morning. Then I'm going to go build a deck. If you guys want to see that. Well, a front porch. I'll be doing that a little bit later. Should be work. I was going to say fun, but it should be work. And work sometimes is fun. I keep forgetting to ask Calvin this question. All right, Calvin. Calvin's the leather guy, everybody, if you didn't know. Calvin is making leather goods from scratch. When I say scratch, I mean something was wandering through the woods and befell, and tragedy struck. Calvin scooped in and was like, waste not, want not. And that guy has been doing beautiful leather work ever since. And I got to say, it is admirable. I don't know how much he knew prior. He says not a lot. I mean, knowing and doing. Like, he seems to be a knowledgeable guy in almost everything he's opening his mouth about, which is amazing. But he got into this leather work and just jumped in 2 feet and is killing it. Like, well, not literally, because he's not hunting all of this stuff, but he is making beautiful pelts, beautiful leather, and now starting to make things out of that leather. He made a leather apron, which is boss as hell. Like, I'm going to ask you that question, like, literally, when you think about that. You think about all the people you know and have ever met in the whole wide world. How many of them can take an animal and end up with some clothes? Like, end up all the stuff, the whole process, the tanning, the cleaning, the working over and over on that pelt until it's buttery soft, until it's suede smooth. And that guy did it in a matter of months. Months. Still killing it over there. So check him out. You want to see some real leather work. Question I was going to ask you, Calvin, is I've got a lot of this pig leather because I bought a bag of scrap leather, which is highly recommended for people who can't make their own stuff and want to learn stitching and how to do it and stuff like that. You get scraps and you waste them instead of buying nice leather and wasting it learning. But I don't know what to do with the pig clean. I am going to make some strops out of it because this is exactly what's on my strops here and they work great. So I'm going to probably make some strops and maybe even sell them or give them away. You know how I do. I wish I had my dad's pictures, man. You would have loved his work. You know how to do all of that. That would be amazing. You know what would be amazing is if one day my kid says that. That's bigger than all of the YouTube effort. That's bigger than, man, for your kid to just, that almost makes me a little sentimental, but like, man, that's a kid proud of his dad. Love that. Like I'm over here, like literally kind of fantasizing in my head about like, what if one day one of my sons is like, my dad makes awesome knives. Oh, or the girls, or my daughters. Discriminate. My sister used to be the test dummy, wave one, and currently I have tism, no wisdom. Oh no. Gage, I disagree. I think you got a lot of wisdom, bro. Y'all see what I mean about this blade? The scratches. I moved on too soon. On my grits. You can see those little scratches back there. And it disturbs my soul because the hour worth of effort I spent on that yesterday was exclusively to fix that problem. And this looks way better than it did, shamefully. It does look better than it did, but looking better is not necessarily looking good, right? You don't want to put an asterisk next to quality. Now, hopefully y'all can see that okay. This this these scales look way better. This is much cleaner, and I like stitching. It seems to have worked out okay. Now I'm not super happy about that little gap we had that got filled in by the epoxy and whatnot, but I can live with it. I have to live with it. There's nothing I can do about it at this point. But we're going to go ahead and put some. Looks amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Fedor. I like this finish polishing, but I can tell these are just too deep. I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to go back and re-hit all of that but I'm gonna have to watch some videos on it first. I thought I knew what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing. This knife is incredibly sharp. I'm super proud of that, but you got to call a spade, right? Um, we'll check it real quick again, right? So it'll cut, and it'll cut clean, it'll cut smooth, without a whole lot of effort, but that's the edge, not the whole blade. And I went up to 3,000 grit last night on that, and so if it's still got a bunch of scratches, thanks, Fedora. Thank you, Gage. I'm gonna set this down. I'm gonna get a little something. I'm not even gonna bother with the glove. Where is the linseed? Because now we've pulled some of our finish off. Did we sand this down? We did. We had to have. No, we did not. No, we did not. We still got the 80 grit. You can try even harder to sharpen it, but it looks incredibly beautiful. Thank you. I do thank you for that. It's a nice thing to say. This may have been unnecessary, but I don't think so. Like weirdly, for a knife, right? I want this smooth. I want it like silky smooth. And I know that's not the best thing to have in a knife handle. What can you say? I'm a freaking diva. And I shall continue to be such. Aesthetics are important to me. Y'all were out with me last night till about 1 in the morning. A good time. Okay. Wipe it off again. I'm going to go over to the vacuum and make sure I've got all the dust out of these pores of this wood. Now, nice and clean. Where's my little piece of scrap leather? Oh, here you are. I asked Calvin a question and then I left the chat like a goofball. Let me go back and see what he said. Oh, he didn't. He's already gone. Pilato says that I'm back. I knew about the ultrasound team doing a new echogram, but I need to catch up with the respiratory therapist adjusting the ventilator settings. Whew, sounds like you becoming a physician yourself there. Good brother. Oh, Captain says he didn't answer. Okay. Perhaps no pigskin expertise besides the gridiron. Maybe I can make a football. Hmm? Oh, could I possibly ask again? Oh, yeah. I was asking what could I do with pigskin leather? I got them, and it's, as you probably know, it's thinner than the cowhide, and I got a bag of scraps um, from the lobby of hobbies, and that's pretty much all that's in there. Bunch of different colors and varieties, and I'm gonna be screwing up a lot of it, but feel like I could do something with it, but I don't know what something I could do with it because I just have no real idea about much of leather anything. Thinking about wrapping one of these knife handles in it. I'm thinking about maybe wrapping a sheath in it. Uh, that means a new knife build and everything, but that's what I'm thinking about doing. We got 47 likes in the building, y'all. I appreciate what you're doing for me. If you haven't already, you can tap that button and contribute to the spread of the gospel of Wes. Welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome. We are here. I almost said we're queer. Why does that follow that now? Just automatically. You say, we are here. And then the congregation says, we are. Also, this maple is so light. It's and shiny. It like shows fingerprints, shows everything. So I got to try not to hold it while I'm holding it. I like everything except for that little streak running down the side right there. That is a corrected mistake that still has its own limitations. If I can tuck that in there. Mitchell Carey says, "What's his Wisdom Wednesday?" Hey, is that beeswax? Says Alex. No, that's boiled linseed oil that I'm putting on here. Ugh. It's getting weird placement. Stop it, camera. Stop it. Hard to get these angles right sometimes. Paul says, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm doing good, thanks. You can always stain it. Yeah. Well, yeah, sort of, because maple is incredibly hard to stain. I discovered. Um, I did a purple stain over. It took no less than 30 applications to get really mediocre results. Really mediocre results. River Slag says, when you ended the blade, did you use a hard block or a soft block for your sandpaper? I used a soft block and I used my fingers uh, pushing it. I used this. Let me pull back so you can see. I used that. And then once I got into my wet sanding, I just used my hand and that. Sounds like you're about to teach me something. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Well, I appreciate the 55 likes from you all. I appreciate the attentiveness of the group, and I thank y'all for hanging out with me. Um, I know sometimes some are more interesting than others in these builds, and some of the conversations better than others, but we still try to keep working on stuff. And each time I try to show you a new thing that I'm doing, so that if it just happens to be a thing that you want to do, maybe it'll help a little bit. Also, I really do appreciate the company from you guys hanging out while I'm here. And it's always a blessing to have friends in the chat. When I hand sand blades, I always try to use a hard back and it'll help you dig those deep scratches out. I took an old half round file and ground the teeth off and it works great. That's a great idea. Thank you. I'm going to do that. Hey, we got 56 likes in here, 57 even on my end. Thank you. Thank y'all. Speaking of old and high numbers, it's your boy's birthday next week, 7 days from now. And what I'm going to do is be building stuff so that we can be giving stuff away on that day. And it says, nice suspenders. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ooh. Mitchell says, gotta go. Appreciate you hanging out with us when you did. Yes, yes. Pilato says, thanks for going live, Wes. It's a needed distraction for me today. Man, I'm glad I could be some distraction from that for you today. And I hope that our collective thoughts and prayers have some benefit on the result with your baby. I am slowly but surely starting to like this knife again. I liked it for the design initially because I was able to pull it off. And now I really like it for it being a better knife than it was. And I think it was worth the effort. And I think maybe somebody will win it. Amen, Pilato. And I think maybe somebody will win it. But for now, I dig it. Looks good so far. Thank you. So for now, Wes does it is going to pack up it. And I might put a little, I'm a little addicted to the linseed oil. I'm not addicted to it, but all of my tools have to get multiple coats of it. So every time I've got it out, I get excited to just go back and hit and refresh and soak in more so that my finishes will be permanent. But man, every time I revitalize it, I'm so excited. Like all of these knives, every single time I got to throw the linseed oil on one of them. It turns out to be good feeling. Give me one quick second. I got to answer this. Hello, this is Wes. Okay, you're in a telemarketing facility. Boop. Don't need that call. Nobody who works in a telemarketing facility has any legitimate business for me. So what we've got here is silky oak, a dyed maple burl, maybe cedar burl, and I want to say this is mimosa on the back, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look back at it, see what I built that out of. Now this blade, I did get better results on the finish. This is actually what inspired me to go back and redo this finish. I didn't get as good of results. And this one still has some imperfection that I don't hate. But it's a chisel blade, chisel edge, meaning sharp on both sides, but flat on one, bevels on one side. Got magnets in it. Help that blade stay attached. But also keeps it nice and snug inside of there. Anyway, this is going to be my everyday carry once this dries for a while, until I'm satisfied with it, feel like it's a good knife and done enough cutting with it that I'm confident in the blade. And then it too probably will be given away as well. Mitchell says, Pilato, good luck and good vibes your way to you and the fam, especially your daughter. Wonderful. Some chick says, that's pretty. Gay says, hey man, you should stay live. Handmade is the best. It is. And speaking of handmade, you guys have an opportunity to do it. That very word you just said. Look, handmade 1970. That's a guy named Ron. He's in Canada, and he makes the sharpest knives you'll ever see. And he works with a forge and a mallet, and he makes them. And he might use deer antlers. He might use a lot of different materials for the handles. They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. I won one from him, and it's on the way soon, and I am ecstatic about it. Hey, brother, when I finish my house, you are welcome to come in Alabama and do a free bladesmithing class. And I'll do you a free bladesmithing class. Oh, word. Right on. Right on. I got folks in Alabama. My brother's there in Dothan, Alabama. Handmade is the best. I agree. I agree. I think handmade is the way to go. Everything's industrialized, so nothing gets proper attention anymore. So it's hard to find a well-calibrated tool that's gotten care and concern. BB Forge, I appreciate that. And Handle Company. Man, I'm gonna make you a mod just in case you come back in here. We'd love to have this conversation. In Jackson County, northeast corner. Okay. So that'll probably put you not too super far from Georgia, right? Because I'm in the west side of Georgia. Well, west side of Atlanta. I'll come check you out. So anyways, I made you a moderator. So also, if you happen to comment on some of the stuff or subscribe or whatever, we'll go back and forth there. My email, wesdoesitmail@gmail. We communicate there as well. 3 hours from Atlanta, that's nowhere. Nowhere. That's about the same distance as Dothan. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Let me know how the house goes. You know, I'm a remodel contractor. I really enjoy house stuff. I feel like I'm getting hungry. Um, I am going to go ahead and set up my truck, start packing my tools, get ready to go. Um, I just got to make sure I got everything I need. If I'm also doing something else, I'm going to get distracted, forget something, and end up crazy. Mind checking out my most recent post, Wes? Um, Gage? Yeah. All right. Let's see. Posts. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that. I saw that custom knife clip. Oh, I didn't reply. I thought I did. I swear I thought I did. Oh yeah, it gave me that stupid error where it's like, oh, comment couldn't be at. Let me do it now. All right. Yeah. So Gage. I keep calling it Gagey. I'm sorry. Gage made a knife on his channel and used a strap from a helmet, a broken helmet, to hold the sheath on, and that's just clever. If y'all get a chance, go over there and see him. You see the thing below, but check that out. Check that out. That's innovation, family. That's innovation. I love that. I love it. I love it. This is what we're about over here, celebrating our efforts towards our goals. Not just mine, not just mine, because my goals are your goals. My goals are to give you motivation to do some of this stuff and to show you how, if there are parts of it that are too much. That's really why the membership exists for me, is that my members get to say, hey, how about this? Have you tried this? And if I can do it and I'm capable, I'm set up for it, I'll do it for my members for sure. Um, just so that if they want to do it, I can do the experimenting, because I do have a lot of tools and equipment and stuff. And maybe we can see if it's worthwhile for them to do it or not. Gage, I don't support you even a hundredth of the level that you supported me. So I look forward to doing what I can to balance that out as you pursue posts. Good morning, Wes. I got distracted and didn't see you start your stream. Love the lace look, by the way. Thank you, Fetty Spaghetti. How are you this morning? It's good to see you. That was, we did this last night, the lace part. And then this morning, I just kind of cleaned it up, and then I resanded the sheath, refinished it, and resanded the handle. And I think it did work out better. I think it's a nicer knife. It was interesting before because of the design. You do enough, Wes. Don't stress about it. I enjoy the one comment she leaves. Hey, well, I'm gonna try to do better, bud. But the interest in this knife for me was in the design, just sort of the yin and the yang of the sheath with the sleeves, the contrasting wood, um, and then that little part right there. And it ended up being really close to what I was anticipating. Kind of freestyled it along the way, but I think all in all, feels good, looks decent. Um, and I appreciate y'all coming along for the ride with me. I'm gonna probably do some sort of short for this, um, just because I'm proud of it. But man, I think the YouTube algorithm is it's weird because they'll get sick of me doing some stuff. Like I'll do something new and they won't show it very much because they're like, that's new. That's not what we've been pushing you. And then they'll go, oh, you're the guy that does that now. And then they'll push it. And then if I do it too long, they're like, all right, enough with the knives. So I'm going to let my own will and the will of my members and subscribers determine what I do going forward. Betty Spaghetti is doing good. I broke a wooden comb I was making. It's my own fault for clamping it too tight, but now I got to start again. So we ball. Ugh. Ugh. Isn't it a tough thing to break delicate pieces? Man, I was on with Eco Woodcrafts, his live the other day, and he's saying he does such fine detail work. Like he is literally sanding wood pieces down as thin as that little leather strip right there. Like he is really doing that stuff. So it's just very fragile, very delicate work, little tiny tools, sanding and stuff. And we were talking, I was typing in the chat with him, and he said something, and I think I distracted him a little bit, and he snapped that piece right in half. And I was like, oh my God, I felt like I had ruined that guy's day. He shook it off and still making incredible stuff. But I guess that kind of thing happens with us sometimes. And we just, like you said, you accept that it's your fault because it's something you either did or didn't do. And that's how you never do it again. So that is the proper approach, my friend. Not that you didn't know that. This looks good to me. I'm going to shut it down, gather up my tools, run to do the real carpentry that I do, and I'll bring y'all along when I do, as best I can. Last time I went out there, it was tough to get a good position for the camera. I'll try to do better this time. But I'm going to see y'all later. Love, peace, and hair grease. Well, scalp grease. West Desert. I'm up out. Messed up many times, especially with machining, says Pauls. I can only imagine with that. I'm going to see y'all later. Y'all going to see me later. And we're going to hang out again. I'm gone. West Desert. I'm going to see you in about whatever time I turn the camera on. Peace.